Welcome to Do Station with another video. Today our topic is risk management. Basically, it is related to our last two videos in which we learned how to conduct JSA and what is JSA and how to conduct it. And then we learned what is risk assessment and how to conduct it. Now today we will learn what is risk management and how to conduct it. The presentation I will use today, I will share the link with you in the description so you can download it. So also I am waiting for your kind feedback, so this way I can improve my content and make it more valuable to you. So let's move to our presentation and discuss it. Today's topic is risk management, a practical approach from identification to mitigation. Welcome to the welcome slide. Let's overview what we are going to learn today. Today our topic is risk management, which is an essential tool in the occupational health and safety. Today we will explore the core principles and practices of risk management process, and we will learn through the step-by-step guide how to effectively conduct the risk management process in the field. Let's first define the risk management process. A systematic process to identify hazards, evaluate the associated risk, and implement suitable control measures. In the risk management process, we identify all the potential hazards and then we evaluate their associated risk, and then we implement suitable control measures. Also, we continuously monitor those controls to make sure that they are performing as desired. What is the purpose of this? To make sure that all the potential hazards are controlled so that our working environment is safe. Benefits include compliance. We achieve the compliance through risk management process. Our safety improves, our working environments become safer, and we can avoid all the costs related to the incidents. Let's look at the steps of the risk management process. There are basically 5 steps: identification of potential hazards and their risk, assessment and evaluation of the risks, and then planning how to control them, and then implementation of the controls and mitigation strategies, and then continuous monitoring and reviewing. So now I have divided this management process into 3 stages to make it easy to understand. First one is risk identification. Stage 2 is risk analysis and evaluation. And the third stage is risk treatment and monitoring and also communication. So in first stage, we identify all the potential hazards and risk of our organization so we may control them. We can use different techniques and methods to identify all the potential hazards. I have explained this in detail in my risk assessment video, so you can watch this. Here I will briefly explain them. So for the identification, our techniques can be spontaneous or structured. Like we can use the brainstorming, observations, inspections, SWOT analysis, HAZAP, JSA, task analysis, and there are different techniques we can use to identify all the potential hazards. So once we have identified all the potential hazards and risks, now we will evaluate each of the risks. So we can evaluate the risk by evaluating its likelihood and its impact, and through which we can get the level of the risk and we can prioritize it. So now we will discuss two very important topics: qualitative risk management and quantitative risk management. So let's see what is the qualitative risk management. So qualitative risk evaluation or management is an approach in which we use non-numerical data-based techniques like expert opinions, experience, and observation, and through which we evaluate the risk. It is subjective assessment. It depends solely on the experience and observations and opinion of the assessor or expert. It is non-numerical scale based. Here we don't use any numerical values, rather we rate or evaluate the risk on the basis of high, medium or low. In this approach, we understand or describe the risk on the basis of its characteristics, like what are the causes, what may be the causes, or what are the potential harm. We can use different techniques for this technique, like risk matrix, risk scoring, SWOT analysis, brainstorming, etc. So now looks at the quantitative risk management. In this approach, we use numerical data and statistical analysis gathered from the field in the real time to evaluate the risk. This is objective assessment and uses the data-driven techniques and real-time statistical analysis. Also, we use the numerical scales here and we calculate the probabilities of the events in the real time. based on those numerical values and stats we have gathered during the time period. In this approach, we describe the risk in the terms of numerical values and we compare them and prioritize them accordingly. We can use different techniques to evaluate, like expected monetary values, sensitivity analysis, Monte Carlo simulations. So there are different techniques we can implement. Now looks at some pros and cons of the each of the approach. The qualitative is very easy. Quantitative can be complex as it may require specialized knowledge. Qualitative is flexible and can be applied to different scenarios easily. Quantitative is not that flexible as it requires data, which should be accurate. Qualitative gives the results quickly, while the quantitative can be time consuming as it may need the data from the real time data for the detailed analysis. The qualitative is subjective as it may be influenced by the expert's opinion, while the quantitative is objective, data driven. The qualitative may lack the precision, while the quantitative is more accurate. Now move to the next stage of the risk management process, which is risk treatment, monitoring, and communication. Basically, in this stage, we implement the control measure, then we try to mitigate or control the risk, and then we monitor them. So first of all, we have to develop the risk mitigation strategies. Then we implement them, and then we monitor and review them. Basically, first of all, we develop the strategy, then we implement it, and then we review and monitor, so we can check that whether our controls are performing as desired or not. So after that, we have to communicate all the information related to our this process to all the stakeholders. So this information should be planned, timely, and understood. So everyone can understand and participate as required. So now look at some of the risk management techniques that we can adopt to make our risk mitigating strategies more effective. So they include risk avoidance, risk reduction, risk transfer, and risk retention. Now let's explain each of them. So in the risk avoidance, basically, we try to eliminate the hazard itself or we avoid any hazardous activity. In the risk reduction, basically, we replace or substitute the hazard with something less hazardous. In the risk transfer approach, basically, we transfer some or all of the risk to another party, usually for a fee or a payment. Basically, what we do, we shift the burden of the risk to the another party. It may be in the terms of insurance, contracts, partnership, joint ventures, or outsourcing. Now, in the risk retention approach, basically, the organizations consciously decide to retain and manage the risk itself, especially when the risk level is very low or the cost of the transfer is very high. It can be active or passive. In the active, basically, we consciously decide to retain the risk and we develop a plan to mitigate it. And in the passive approach, basically, it happens due to our lack of awareness or inadequate or insufficient risk assessment that we had no idea this risk exists there. Okay, now look at some risk management tools. First, risk registers, very important. Let us document and track our risk records. Then risk metrics, let us visualize likelihood and severity. And then comes the risk assessment templates we can use for our ease. They give us structured approach. Okay, so what we learned, risk management, a crucial tool in occupational health and safety that let us manage all of the potential hazards effectively and make our workplace safer. The key aspects we learned, identification of the hazards, then evaluation of the risk, then planning how to control them, and then implementation of the control, and after that monitoring and review. That was it, Ji. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video will help you. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you very much again. Stay safe and healthy. So see you in the next video soon. Thank you.